Right now, I want to head over to meteorologist Lauren Linehan. And Lauren, kind of an interesting setup earlier today because we did have some reports of freezing fog if you checked in with Matt and Mickey earlier today. So we want to head over to meteorologist Lauren Linehan to kind of break down and explain her on what freezing fog is all about.
Yeah, Wes, that's right. What exactly is the science behind freezing fog? Well, first, you may just want to know, how in the world does fog work? Well, actually what we see when it comes to fog is that possibility for this layer at the surface where the temperature reaches the dew point. And so what happens when the temperature reaches the dew point? Dew point is how much moisture is in the air. So if the temperature and the dew point are the same, moisture can form because the air is at 100% saturation. So there is condensation. You get clouds to form at the surface. And so that's when you can get radiation fog at night, because at night the earth cools down, so it loses that heating. So because you do have that temperature cooling to the dew point, you get clouds at the surface to form, known as fog. But what is freezing fog? And don't say it too fast, because you may wind up saying freezing frog. And we're not talking about frogs here. We're talking about good old-fashioned fog. When you get temperatures on the road, like we get oftentimes in the winter, when the road temperature gets to at or below freezing, if there is fog developing, you can get a phenomenon called freezing fog. And that happens when you have those road temperatures at or below freezing. So you've got this freezing layer at the surface, and then you have fog developing. But what happens is fog is composed of what is known as supercooled water droplets. If you remember science from back in the day in school, you remember you've got solid, liquid, gas. When you have fog, it is in liquid form. But if the air's below freezing, why would it be in liquid form? Well, it's because of this phenomenon called supercooled water droplets, where liquid can exist at or below freezing. So you have these supercooled water droplets and you have that fog form close to the ground. What happens is it freezes on contact with the road. And so that can make for some slick travel. But hey, you know what else? It can also make for some pretty pictures. So as long as you're not driving in it, it makes for some beautiful views, as it almost looks like frost has developed over the road or on the ground. But we'll have some beautiful pictures of that freezing fog coming up in a bit.